families that were keen on practicing what their elders had bequeathed to them founded new settlements. One indigenous settlement that was swayed by Islamic religion is Dongoroba village in Jara East, Lower River region. It is one of the smallest villages in the country with a closely knitted extended family network. Instead of sending their children to receive Western education, in some cases to far-flung communities, parents in this indigenous Gambian village send their kids to study the Holy Quran, which explains why, at the start of any public program or meeting, the guardian listen with keen interest melodious recitations of the Holy Quran.
والذين معه عشداء على الكفار رحماء بينهم تراهم ركعا سجدا يبتغون فضلا من الله ورضوانا سيماهم في وجوههم من أثر السجود ذلك مثلهم في التوراة ومثلهم في الإنجيل كزرع أخرج شطعه فآزره فاستغلظ فاستوى على سوقه يعجب الزراع ليغيظ بهم الكفار وعد الله الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات منهم مغفرة وأجرا عظيما صدق الله العظيم.
Despite all this, the rural-urban migration took a good chunk of the youths away, thus made it difficult for an extended family that depends on many hands for subsistence agricultural ventures to cope. Having been inspired by the development initiated by the Jammeh administration from 1994 to date, the efforts been made to deliver affordable medical health care. The Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Balagaba Jahumpa, said the health center project, funded by Alhaji Cherno Lamin Dem, the first in the history of the village, was a classic example of what the president referred to as patriotic citizen.
When President Jammeh talks about patriotic Gambians contributing towards the socio-economic development of this country, the example of Fafadem is there for all to see. The construction of this health facility in Dongoroba is indeed the cornerstone of the July 22nd revolution, headed by our leader, His Excellency, Sheikh Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya Abdul Aziz James Junkung Jammeh, in addressing the needs and aspirations of the Gambian people, and in this case, in addressing the health needs of the Gambian people.
The recent inauguration of the multi-million-dollar health center that made it possible for patients to live side by side at the health center with their doctors was a watershed moment in the history of Dongoroba. Like so many Gambian villages along the Banjul-Basse Road, the establishment of this health center is good for business. Full-time business dealers who badly needed customers are now jostling for space in this area, which by all indications appears to be fertile for meaningful business activities. If you want to gauge the reactions of the people, take your microphone out. One would surely hear what the street hawkers have to say about the construction of the health center.
Min Alhaji Diop lopitan Dongoroba yettare Allah mawde min kebi hen gos ko ganduda yimbe be fofe be dum podano ko dum jata kende adum addata dowma si tawma a jodim ha Allah addanma dum lesma an hamdinare podda hen wat minen ala ko min mbawi wi he kulle Dongoro sina min pini fof nguron duwano ɓe ganduɗa ɓe mbaɗi sponsor kulle l'hôpital o surtout ala haji ngar mo ganduɗa mo ardi ɗum yo Allah nawrumo yesso ɓeyda bawga mako
sabu de kono bili o fuɗɗimo liggey minen rewɓe saara ɓe ha he worɓe ɓe danaka fondinkoɓe foof ndenti mbabotori mbaɗi ɓernde wattare o meeɗa wi imme min mbi ɗiɗi seyma imme min fof min immo ha Allah walli min ma o arda min ma ha min kimma komin jiiɗi ko joni sina mbuɗon belti on min jogui min foppali.
The representative from the governor's office in Kolda in Senegal said this small community had demonstrated clearly their readiness to open up to their neighbors in Casamas to receive treatment at Dongoroba Health Center. Something which, according to the speaker, was possible because of the good relationship between President Jammeh and Sall. Until recently, the people in Dongoroba, Jasong and Wellingaraba had to travel to Bureng or sometimes Soma with horse, donkey or in rare occasions by car to receive medical treatment.
The construction of this health facility in Dongoroba, Lower River region, will indeed contribute towards our aims and objectives of realizing the Millennium Development Goals, particularly in the relation to the health sector, that is MDGs 4, 5 and 6 in relation to child mortality, maternal health care, and the reversal of HIV, AIDS, and malaria.
The donor for this health facility is not only patriotic but is a philanthropist.
Ako amang kinyemenyin kodo bondi kanyin lockdown lo amang ke bang bodi kenno da mate bari akida molte no wala me alo ko sor la barem.
We are all aware of government's commitment to the MDG targets.
Ako mutakala mako masakunda e sarta saila lonni men alo ko masakunda e wala ngana ngatang ganni sanyi tanyado sanyi sayado.
And MDG 4 and 5 are particularly held by us.
Andung o sartol kodos nani nyawni lulu nyaw wolbe komendi no wala jati kende ya musol na tanko ani musol ani molbe la jati kende ya ani jio ani ndandawla kol wodo wala ko nga sarta flo do so.
The principal mandate of the Ministry of Health is to ensure quality, affordable and accessible health service to all government.
As if the construction of the health center was not enough or convincing for the youth to return home and fill the void that had been created as a result of their absence, the installation of a water tank that supplies running water to the village and its neighboring villages witnessed a positive showing from the youth of Dongoroba as far as the attendance was concerned. Indeed, for one youth, things seems to be turning towards a positive direction for him. Alpha Dem is undoubtedly one of the youngest chief executive officers in the country. As a native of Dongoroba, he will be remembered as the first CEO the village ever produced. But for Alpha Dem, the job at hand is daunting.
At Dongoro, to be frank enough, we have standard equipment. We have well equipped, we have a lot of drugs. And then moreover, we are strategically located just at the of the road. It's something like 50 meters away from the road. And if you check from here to that place, how to call it, Japine, a lot of villages are there. And most of these people are coming also from the, as I tell you, our relatives coming all the way from the Casamas area. So definitely speaking, it is a need. And then sometimes late in night, the person may have emergencies, and then they have to put you on a donkey cart to take you to a nearest health facility.
The construction of this health center by the people of Dongoroba is expected to draw the attention of the youth of the village living outside the village to reconsider returning home and partake in the development of their village and the country by extension.
Well, there are so many issues to be looked at now that the Dongoroba Health Center is operational. For example, how is the momentum that had been there at the start of the program going to be sustained? What plans are there to ensure the investment is sustained?
First step, as you said, for the sustainable aspect of it. We've got finance for 1 year from the sponsor. From now on, whatever proceed we are going to get from this health center, though we have to underline this is not a profit-making project. we have to recover at least the running cost.
Well, it is one thing to establish a health facility. The other thing is to make sure that the conditions are created